Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today we're back with a film club video, but this one's a little bit different this time. I'm going to be starting a new bit of my film club. I'm still going to be doing my regular film club, that's for sure. But basically what I'm doing is kind of a collaborative film club series with other YouTubers. In future I will be adding more people into this series. So let me know in the comments down below if there's any YouTubers you'd like to see me collaborate with. Right, please let me know. The difference with this part of the film club is that it's going to be themed and it's going to be like once a month and once every 2 months, something along those lines. Haven't exactly figured out everything and all the kinks, but it's gonna work out. This month obviously is Christmas themed. I have my dinosaur Christmas earrings. They have little Santa hats on, super cute. I love these earrings. These are my favorite ones ever. I also have like a Santa shirt on. Obviously really had to be festive. I'm feeling festive. Gotta love Christmas. It's my favorite time of year. But who am I collaborating with today? Well, that would be my friend Marcus. He had a YouTube channel previously, but is restarting his channel and is basically going to be talking about like films. He's going to be doing commentary. There'll be like shorter video essays, the kind of that whole category of YouTube, like the commentary video essays side. So if you guys are interested in those kinds of videos, check that out. And what will he be doing for this film club? He's going to be discussing the movie Gremlins. I think it's from the 1980s, but you'll have to go and watch his video to know that. And he's going to be discussing his opinion and, you know, just talking about the film in general. Basically what I'm doing, but in a different video format. But what am I talking about? Well, I am talking about today the Polar Express. Basically how this film club works is that I'm going to watch the movie. You guys are going to watch the movie. I'm going to state my opinion on the movie. And then in the comment section down below, you guys are able to put your comments in and opinions in the comment section. So you get to, it's like a book club, but it's for films. My Christmas Eve movie was The Polar Express and Arthur Christmas. We watched both of them growing up. We still do. If you haven't watched Arthur Christmas, highly recommend that one as well. But I know a lot of people were creeped out by The Polar Express growing up, but I personally love it, except for this one scene. And I'll show you guys in the clips that I'm gonna put in this video about like when I'm watching the movie. We're about to go watch the movie and then I'll come back again after watching the movie. So it's like kind of, we're revisiting the movie. But there's one scene where there's like the ghost guy, the guy who's like on top of the train is maneuvering puppets. And I hate puppets in movies. I don't really care about what kind of format they're in. Puppets, they're just so creepy and I hate it so much, and that scene freaks me out. Other than that, I actually really love that movie, the hot chocolate scene. Brilliant scene, and we'll talk more about that later in the episode, in the video. My prior thoughts before revisiting this movie is that what's really interesting, and my Hunger Games fans will love this, Josh Hutcherson actually was the stand-in for the CGI. So basically how they filmed the movie was that it's like a cartoon, right? It's animated, but they used CGI instead. So they had like CGI suits and those like dots on them, and then overlaid the animation on top of that. Tom Hanks played a lot of the characters, and I'm pretty sure it's from his production company as well. It's like fully his own production. And then for the child character, the main protagonist, Josh Hutcherson was the CGI stand-in. But he wasn't, interestingly enough, wasn't the voice of the character. I just find it really interesting that they used CGI to animate the film. It's very experimental, and it turns out pretty well. Other than freaking out some kids, it turned out really well. But I cannot wait to watch this movie. So without further ado, let's get into watching The Polar Express. 1 hour and 39 minutes. It's like the best possible movie I could be watching right now. It's perfect length for a movie. I feel like if a random train showed up at my front door, I would also be very confused, you know?
It's a Baldwin 284 S3 class Berkshire type steam locomotive. Built in 1931, it's a Baldwin locomotive which weighs 456,000.
I feel so sorry for this little kid. He makes me sad. Look at him. Run for the train. Get on the train, kid. Don't just wave to him. Do something. Get on the train. Come on. Get on the train. This is the coolest scene in the whole movie. This ticket just goes on a whole adventure in this movie. It's crazy. It is probably really good. Is it a motif? I don't know, but it's just a recurring theme. And that boy needed to leave the ticket alone. This guy's so creepy. Just appears out of nowhere. He's definitely a ghost. The way that this boy makes her question herself.
What about this red one? It looks like a brake. No, he said this was the brake. Are you sure?
Be confident in yourself, little girl. Come on. Why did she let him do it? Oh, because he's the protagonist. Can you imagine being all the way back there? Like, those kids are drowning.
Sometimes seeing is believing. And sometimes the most real things in the world are the things we can't see. These board toys suffer enough. Being left to rust and decay in the back alleys and
This is the scene I was talking about. Terrifying. Watch this.
You are just like me, my friend. A Scrooge! Ebony Scrooge. North Pole, Santa Claus, this train. It's all a bunch of humbug. About a pin.
I believe. I believe.
This ticket concept is so cute. I like it. Good motif. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it's a motif or what. Believe.
No. It's nothing I need to know. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.
Okay, so I'm very obviously in a different location, right? So let's talk about the Polar Express despite the change in location. You know, it's fine. Ignore it, right? So let's talk about the characters first and how literally none of them have names, which is very weird. Actually, one of them has a name and that's Billy. And it's just very interesting that one of them is the poor kid Billy that gets a name and then no one else is ever named at all. There's Hero Boy, Girl, Know-It-All, and then all of the characters that Tom Hanks voiced, which is also another very interesting thing. That's one of the things that is a theory as well on, like, people theorize all the time about the Polar Express and how Tom Hanks, because he voices all of these characters, people think, like, because the whole motif theme is that is it a dream? Is it not a dream? The theme is believing, and seeing is not believing. So is it a dream? Well, you have to decide that as an audience member. And Tom Hanks voicing all these characters and him voicing the dad kind of plays into it being a dream as well. And I really like that point, because you get to decide if it's like a dream or not. But it kind of feels like Tom Hanks is got a little bit of an ego, but you know, his ego makes sense in the movie. The know-it-all kid is definitely the comedic relief in this movie, because he is constantly, he's a know-it-all, he's a little bit spoiled, no, he's a lot of bit spoiled and he's quite the opposite of this poor kid who has never had Santa come to his house, and it's really sad. And then the know-it-all kid is like never saying the right thing because he's a know-it-all and stuck up and doesn't know how to read a room. And it's actually done quite well. And you know, everyone knew a kid like the know-it-all growing up, and I think that's really good for a kids movie, is like showing the kind of characters that you all knew and you can relate to them. And maybe you were one of those kids that is in the movie. Maybe you were the kid that wasn't, you know, maybe the hero boy, right, who didn't necessarily believe in Santa. You might have the kid who was the little girl who did believe in Santa. By the way, why was she there? This is the Polar Express is something for kids who didn't believe in Santa, or like maybe almost don't believe in Santa, to kind of get them to believe in Santa again by, you know, having this little adventure. And this kid is on here, like, this little girl is like, no, I believe in the magic. It's great. It's great fun, and she's got the Christmas spirit. Personally, sad theory, but I do have the theory that possibly she had a bit of a rough year, her family had a bit of a rough year, and she needed the Christmas spirit. And maybe the movie is a little bit dark. You know, as you grow up, you realize how dark the movie really can be. Like, some of the underlying themes, you're like, oh no, that's kind of upsetting. That's kind of sad. All the kid characters definitely represent something different about, like, the Christmas spirit. And, you know, Tom Hanks covers all bases in this movie, and I think that's really impressive that he really gets to all of the themes, all of the types of kids. You know, there's someone to relate to throughout this movie as well, and I just find that whole part really cute. But if we go into different characters as well, then we have the ghost character, who is insane. You know, he's probably the most prominent figure of the side of the story that this is a dream. And there's one point, and I showed this in a clip before, right, where the conductor says, like, seeing is believing, but you don't necessarily have to see to believe, or whatever. You just watched the quote. You know what I'm talking about in this video. You know what I'm talking about. That quote that the conductor says, I think it definitely refers to the ghost. They're definitely talking about the ghost, and it's essentially telling us that as an audience, you don't have to see them, and even if you see the thing that you want to believe in or don't want to believe in, doesn't necessarily mean that it's real. And that's really where the ghost is like, was this ghost real? Was this just a dream? Does it really matter? Probably not. No, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because this kid ends up believing in Santa, believing in the Christmas spirit. So, you know, just believe in the Christmas spirit. And now the conductor, also coincidentally voiced by Tom Hanks. Who knew that was gonna happen? You know, I didn't know that was gonna be Tom Hanks as well. It's not like all the other characters are voiced by Tom Hanks. The conductor straight up just kidnapping all these kids. I needed to bring this up, that the Polar Express just straight up kidnaps a bunch of kids, and all these kids are like, Len, stranger danger, like, leave them behind. Just leave behind stranger danger and get on a train with this weird conductor on this train that's randomly appeared out front of your house despite never having train tracks outside of your house before. And you think, you know what? It's Christmas, so I'm gonna get on a train called the Polar Express. No, you can't be doing that. Not to mention that this whole Polar Express is going on the most dangerous track. You guys, let me know in the comments down below. This train track, so dangerous. And it's like that one scene where the hero boy and the little girl and the conductor are in the front of the train, and the train is like going up and down, and really the train's trying to throw them off. Which, by the way, I actually need to finish my thought first. I have to finish my thought. I'm like, anyway, as I was saying, that is so dangerous. That's insane. Now, the second thought that I had was that tells me it's almost a dream as well. Because, you know, when you're falling asleep and you just start to fall, that scene in the Polar Express feels like that feeling, you know, they're the same thing. There's another thing that the Polar Express is really good at capturing at the end of the movie, is that feeling of falling asleep and not realizing you fell asleep, and then waking up suddenly. When the sister wakes up the hero boy, she, like, that whole feeling of just like waking up suddenly is like that exact feeling. And Tom Hanks did really well in creating that in a movie. Alright, so scenes that make it feel like it is actually a dream. The hot chocolate scene, the train track scene, yeah, when they're going up and down on the train tracks. I just sneezed, so I'm gonna sound a little bit nasally for the rest of this video. Just deal with it, right? That one scene with the elves as well, you know, when they're dancing after Santa leaves, when they're dancing, that feels, the elves, by the way, they are so creepy that it's just, that design is just probably, that's the creepiest one that I cannot get over as well. And every scene with that ghost man voiced by Tom Hanks, right? And those scenes, I'm like, okay, that's a dream. And when, another thing that they really put into the movie to make it seem like it's a dream, is the pocket ripping, is that it rips the exact same way twice, spilling marbles out of the pockets. That also is like, oh my god, that's a dream. But then you have the hero boy receiving the bell from Santa, so you're like, okay, maybe it wasn't a dream. So once again, I find that whole motif, theme, whatever, really good. I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's necessarily a motif, but it's definitely a theme. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Someone correct me in the comments down below. I think overall, the whole movie was really well thought out. And Tom Hanks, this is going to be my favorite Tom Hanks movie. I know there's a lot of movies that he's really good at acting in. You know, I know a lot of people really love Forrest Gump. And just, he's in a lot of movies. There are a lot of good movies he's in. However, this one, he like made this one, and I really like this movie, and it just, the script is really good. I don't know if he necessarily wrote the script, but he probably like helped out with the script. I don't know for sure. And whoever wrote the script, if he helped, whatever. The script is really good. The directing was really good. The behind the scenes of the CGI is insane. It's kind of creepy, but it is also at the same time you see it and you're like, wow, that's actually awesome. Yes, the animation turned out a little bit weird, but had it been made today, like when CGI is better and technology has come quite a far way, I think it would have turned out like perfect. It would have been an amazing movie. It already is, quite frankly. I absolutely love this movie. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend for the Christmas season, even though it's pretty much over. But, you know, Christmas movie, watch it every year from now on. I'm just saying, it should be a tradition for you guys as much as it's a tradition for me. I also just got fingerprints on my glasses. Doesn't matter. Watch the Polar Express. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Because this is a film club collaboration, make sure you go and watch Marcus's video. I'll reiterate again, his video is about the Gremlins. I'll leave the link in the description down below if you guys want to check that one out. I highly recommend. You definitely should watch it, you know. Can't just watch this video, you gotta go watch his video as well. I will be back with this film club series in the new year as well, so stay tuned for that. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and of course comment down below your thoughts on the Polar Express, the film club, and who you'd like to see me collaborate with in the future. Once again guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, but I've been CJ and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.